Kayla B went live and dragged their mother through the mud. Tasha Bennett just hit back with her own receipts, and this time the target is her own daughter. According to the pages and messages now circulating, Vaughn's mom is claiming Kayla wasn't fighting for the truth. She was fighting for the money. The will money. The estate money. The money that was supposed to stay locked for Vaughn's kids and the family. In a raw post that has the entire timeline on fire, Tasha allegedly dropped screenshots and old conversations showing Kayla pushing hard for control of the estate and asking questions about what she was owed. The caption fans are quoting over and over is simple and cold: she wanted the will money. No long speech. No tears. Just receipts and a mother's side of the story that was missing until now. The same people who were calling Kayla brave yesterday are now sitting quiet. The same people who were attacking Tasha are suddenly replaying every old argument with new eyes. Family war just went from one-sided to full mutual destruction. And the only question left is the one nobody wanted to ask out loud. Was Kayla really exposing a dark secret? Or was she positioning herself for the bag the whole time? The house is no longer just divided. It's on fire. And both sides just started throwing gas. The response did not come with a long emotional live. It came with paper, screenshots, old messages, and a short caption that cut straight through the noise. She wanted the will money. Within minutes of Tasha Bennett's post going up, the same platforms that had spent the previous day praising Kayla B for speaking truth were forced to sit with a completely different version of the story. According to the material now circulating, Vaughn's mother did not simply deny the earlier accusations. She flipped the entire motive. In the alleged receipts, Kayla is shown repeatedly asking about estate details, pressing for clarity on what percentage she would control, and expressing frustration that decisions were being made without her full involvement. One exchange in particular has fans freezing the screen. In it, Kayla is claimed to have written that she had been holding the family down and deserved to be straight the same way others were getting taken care of. Tasha's reply in the thread is short and cold: the money was for the kids first. That single framing changed the temperature overnight. The narrative that had been running for 24 hours, brave sister exposing a dangerous secret, suddenly had a competing story sitting right next to it. In this new version, the live was not only about truth, it was about leverage. Fans who had been firmly on Kayla's side began scrolling back through older posts with different eyes. Old arguments about the estate, old complaints about who was speaking for Vaughn, and old tension between the sister and the mother started looking less like pure grief and more like a long power struggle that had finally exploded in public. The first wave of reaction was pure disorientation. People who had spent the previous day calling Tasha silent and suspicious were now looking at screenshots that painted Kayla as the one calculating the bag. The comments split almost evenly in the first hours. One side said a mother would never fake receipts against her own daughter unless the situation was real. The other side said the timing was too perfect. Wait until Kayla goes viral for accusing you, then drop the money angle to destroy her credibility. Both sides kept the original screenshots in circulation for opposite reasons. What made the moment land harder was the lack of theatrical delivery. Tasha did not go live for 30 minutes crying and explaining. She posted the material and largely stepped back. That restraint made the pages feel heavier to a lot of viewers. In a culture used to long emotional monologues, a short caption backed by documents carried a different kind of weight. Fans started saying the quiet approach felt more dangerous than another live would have. New details continued to surface as the first full day unfolded. Additional screenshots claimed to show Kayla asking specifically about the publishing and the masters, the parts of the estate that generate the real long-term money. In one alleged message, she is said to have written that she was tired of watching other people eat off Vaughn while the real family waited. Whether those words are authentic or not, the effect was immediate. The conversation shifted from did the mother hide information that got Vaughn killed to, was the sister using the death and the drama to secure a larger share of the estate? Old footage of Kayla speaking about the family and the legacy began getting stitched next to the new receipts. Clips where she talked about protecting Vaughn's name were now being watched with a new filter. Some fans said the passion still looked real. Others said the passion looked like someone who understood that control of the narrative equaled control of the money. The same videos that had been used to support Kayla the day before were now being used to question her. The emotional core of the first phase was the sudden reversal of roles. 24 hours earlier, Kayla had been the one holding the microphone and pointing the finger. Now the finger was pointed back at her with documents attached. The house that had looked united in grief for years was fully exposed as a place where money, power, and old wounds had been simmering under the surface the entire time. By the time the first major cycle of posts and stitches slowed down, the original live from Kayla and the new receipts from Tasha were locked in a direct head-to-head. One claimed the mother had stayed silent when it mattered most. The other claimed the daughter had been calculating the estate the entire time. Neither side had fully answered the other, and the audience was left holding two completely different stories about the same family, the same death, and the same money. The second wave did not stay on the same screenshots. New material kept landing, and each piece pulled more people into the fight. A fresh set of alleged messages surfaced that appeared to show Kayla discussing the estate with someone outside the immediate family. In the exchange, she is claimed to have expressed frustration that everything is moving slow, and that she needed to make sure the kids and the real blood are straight before outsiders keep eating. Fans immediately argued over the tone. Some read it as a sister trying to protect the children. Others read it as someone positioning herself as the gatekeeper of the money. The lack of full context only made the debate louder. Then a different voice entered. A person identifying as a longtime family friend went on a short live and said both sides were telling pieces of the truth. According to this person, the tension over the estate had been building for years, long before Kayla's original live. The friend claimed Tasha had been under pressure from multiple directions: baby mothers, old associates, and family members who felt they deserved more, and that Kayla's public explosion forced the mother to finally put something on record. The live was messy and emotional, but it added a third layer. This was not a sudden war. It was an old war that had finally gone public. The money conversation refused to die. Pages that track celebrity estates began posting rough estimates of what Vaughn's catalog continues to generate. Every new number became fresh fuel. Fans started calculating what a larger share would mean and who would control it. The original accusation about hidden street connections and the new accusation about will money were now running side by side, forcing people to decide which motive they believed more. Some said both could be true at the same time. A sister could genuinely believe her mother stayed silent about danger and still want a bigger piece of the estate. Others said the two stories could not coexist cleanly. Kayla's silence after the receipts dropped became its own story. The woman who had gone live for nearly an hour and spoken with raw emotion had not returned with a detailed response to the specific money claims. Supporters said she was gathering her own proof. Critics said the lack of an immediate answer was telling. In the vacuum, old clips of Kayla talking about family business and who really held Vaughn down were replayed with new captions questioning the motive behind every word. A new development pushed the conflict further. Screenshots claimed to show Tasha had also shared the material with a small group of relatives before posting publicly, and that some of those relatives had urged her to stay quiet. The fact that she posted anyway was treated by her supporters as proof she felt cornered. The same fact was treated by Kayla's supporters as proof the mother was willing to burn the family name to protect her own position. Both readings kept the original receipts in circulation. Emotions ran high across every platform that covers the Chicago scene. People who had lost family of their own said watching a mother and daughter destroy each other in public over a dead son's money was painful to witness. Others said the public needed to see it because the sanitized version of the legacy had always been incomplete. The house was no longer just divided. It was being audited in real time by thousands of strangers who felt entitled to pick a winner. By the end of the second major cycle, the story had moved past the original live and the first batch of receipts. It now included outside messages, a family friend's live, estate estimates, Kayla's continued silence, and claims that relatives had tried to stop the mother from posting. Each new piece made the last one harder to dismiss. The question was no longer only whether Tasha had hidden information that contributed to Vaughn's death. The question had expanded into whether the fight for the estate had been shaping every public statement from the beginning. The two versions of the family were now locked in open combat. One painted the mother as the quiet protector who finally had enough. The other painted the daughter as the calculated operator who used grief and accusation as leverage. Neither side had landed a final blow. And the audience was still watching every move, waiting for the next document to drop. The longer the receipts stayed online, the clearer it became that this was never going to end with one side fully defeating the other. What started as Kayla's emotional live and Tasha's document drop had turned into a permanent fracture. The family that once presented a united front around Vaughn's name was now fully exposed as a place where love, grief, money, and old wounds had been colliding for years. A final set of developments kept the pressure from dropping. Additional messages claimed to show Kayla had asked multiple times about the timeline for certain estate decisions and had expressed concern that people who weren't even there were benefiting more than the immediate blood. At the same time, supporters of Tasha pointed to the fact that the mother had largely avoided long public speeches and had instead let the pages speak. In their eyes, that restraint still carried more weight than another emotional live would have. Kayla's side argued the opposite, that dropping money accusations after being publicly accused of endangering Vaughn was a classic deflection move designed to change the subject from the original claims. The silence from both women in the later stages became its own character. Kayla did not return with a point-by-point response to the specific will money screenshots. Tasha did not go live to explain the full context of every message. In the absence of new direct statements, the internet filled the space with its own conclusions. Some fans said the lack of further response from Kayla proved the receipts had landed. Others said the mother's decision to stay mostly quiet after the initial drop proved she had said what she needed to say and was done performing for the timeline. Outside voices continued to enter. People who had been around the family in earlier years offered partial confirmations that tension over money and control had existed long before the first live. None of them provided the full smoking gun document that would end the argument. Each new voice simply added another layer of smoke. The original question, did the mother hide information that contributed to Vaughn's death, was now permanently tangled with a new question of whether the sister had been calculating her position in the estate the entire time. The emotional cost of the public war sat heavy over everything. Fans who had followed Vaughn since the beginning said watching the mother and daughter destroy each other in real time felt worse than most of the street drama that usually dominates these stories. A dead son's money and a dead son's secrets were being fought over in front of strangers who would move on to the next scandal within days. The people actually living inside the family would not have that luxury. By the time the third full cycle of posts and stitches slowed, the two competing narratives were locked in place. One said Kayla had finally spoken a dangerous truth about silence inside the home and was now being punished with money accusations. The other said Kayla had used the language of truth to open a door toward greater control of the estate and had been exposed when the mother decided to stop protecting the image. Both versions could not fully cancel each other out. Both still had enough unanswered questions to keep surviving. The house is no longer just divided. It is on permanent public trial. Every old interview, every old post, every old claim about loyalty and protection is now being reread through the filter of the will money receipts. The legacy that was supposed to be about Vaughn's music and his impact has been pulled into a raw family audit that shows no sign of ending cleanly. In the end, the receipts did not deliver a final verdict. They delivered a permanent counterstory. Kayla's live had forced the mother into the light. The mother's documents forced the daughter's motives into the light. What remains is two incomplete versions of the same tragedy sitting side by side, each one strong enough to keep the other from ever fully disappearing. Do you believe Tasha's receipts show that Kayla's live was really about the will money and control of the estate? Or do you still believe Kayla was speaking a harder truth about silence inside the family and is now being attacked for it? And when a mother and daughter go this public over a dead son's money and secrets, does any of it still feel like protection, or has it all become about who controls the narrative and the bag? Drop your honest take below. No filter. Like the video, subscribe, and turn on the post notifications. If either side drops more documents, if someone else from the family finally speaks, or if the estate situation develops further, we will be right here covering every part of it. This story is far from over.